Right, we're going live. You're live.
Hello and welcome to another live Golfers Ramblings. I hope you are all well. So on the live already, we've got Golf Nut and Mr. Tom. How are you?
Not bad. For yourself?
I'm good, thank you very much, guys. So anyone that wants to come in on the live, just hit the link in the description, and depending on who you are, we might let you in. So, boys, let's talk about putters, and are they too expensive? And are they deemed to be too expensive? So, reason I'm talking this now is because I'm looking at buying a new putter, and I'm looking between two, looking at Scotty Cameron and Bettinardi, both thick end of nearly 400 quid. Is that too much for a putter?
Personally, I think it comes down to individual judgment. You could buy a 20 quid pound putter and hole everything. You could buy £300 putter and still hole everything. Vice versa, you can buy both and miss everything. Comes down to your own personal preference. Yeah,
no, I totally agree with that, to be fair, Tom. But there seems to be a stigma around people happy to pay £450 for a driver, but when it comes to paying similar sort of money for a putter, they don't really want to shell out.
Yeah.
It's strange as well, that, because you change a driver more than you change your putter.
Exactly. So value for money, surely it's a better investment on a £300 putter than a £450 driver. Would you not agree?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think it comes down to you're always paying for the name, aren't you?
To a degree, I think.
Brand fans, or
I think you're right.
Brandish. It's like a Ferrari is always going to be more expensive than Vauxhall.
Yeah, exactly. But is a Ferrari better than a Vauxhall?
Yeah, we can't argue that point. That's clear.
Exactly. It's like if you look at, for example, Scotty Cameron and Bettinardi, compare it to, I don't know, a Wilson Staff putter. Are they better? Well, let's compare it to a Cleveland putter. New milled Cleveland's putter. All milled putters, is one better than the other? Yeah, the milling process on the Scotty and the Bettinardi are better than on the Cleveland. So you are paying for a brand to a degree, but then you're paying for a better product, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with that. I think you've got to go with obviously what technology goes into it as well, what the company is claiming that they're put into it, where, like you're saying, milled face, obviously TaylorMade seem to be always pushing at the moment that pure roll technology that they've got, and that seems to be a consistent rollout with almost every putter that comes out now.
Yeah, they've had the pure roll now for quite a few years. It was before the Spider. I think it was the Daddy Longlegs maybe would have been the first sort of model year that they put it.
I was in my old garage of golf equipment and found a mallet putter that's got the pure roll. So
yeah, I know I had a Daytona, the old Daytonas that they did, and it looks like a pure roll, but it's an AGSI, something like that.
It's very prototype of it.
Yeah, it's very, very similar. So I think obviously in putters technology has moved on. Ken, you can come on. You just need to click the link in the chat in the drop down, mate. So yeah, I think technology in putters definitely has moved on, even with the types of metal that they're using. Obviously, the Scotties are using air grade aluminium now. So it's a softer aluminium than they used to be using. Sorry, air grade steel. It's softer than it used to be. You know, so yeah, it's massively, massively improved to what it used to.
Yeah, but any closer to choosing which one you're going to go with? Sorry, Jeff, didn't mean to jump in.
No, it's okay. Sorry, Tom.
No, I mean on the choice of the two, I'm still really, really torn. Like really torn. I've used them both now. I've had a roll with them both now. The Bettinardi is a lot softer, considerably softer than the Scotty off the face. So taking that into account, on my greens I play on week in, week out, would probably suffer more with the softer putter than I would with a firmer putter. but it did feel good. It did feel really good. So I'm no further forward. I'm still torn on which one I'm going to go with, to be fair, but one of them will be in my bag by the end of the year. That's a fact. Which one?
If you picked this is just an example, if you picked a cheapy Dunlop up putter and you were putting every shot, on green, would you still want to go for something like a Scotty Cameron or?
No. And I'll tell you for why. I've done that. When it must have been 18, 19, when the Odysseys first come out, I wanted an Odyssey Rossi. Obviously 18, 19, at the time, they were 110, 120 quid. A lot of money at the time. So I bought a Dunlop putter, which looked like a Rossi, for like 15 quid. Canned everything.
Yeah.
Didn't take it out of my bag for about 18 months. So for me, it worked. It's like, I don't know if you've seen it, Jeff, I've got a Cleveland putter, which is the same as a Scotty Cameron Newport 1.5.
Right.
The bladed putter, because that's the putter I wanted. So I thought, rather than shelling out on nearly 300 quid, I've got some vouchers for the shop. This was in there for 60 quid. It cost me nothing ultimately. Got it, hate it, can't use it. It's just literally stayed in the boot of the car since. But yeah, so
you like feel of mine, didn't you? When I mean, I'm a left-handed player.
Yeah, but
you use my putting. You like that, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I can put left-handed, to be fair, as well. But yeah, yours was quite nice. I like Lee's as well. Lee's got the Odyssey number 7. That's a nice feel on it. That feels really nice. One of the later ones. I can't remember what model it is. But yeah, that's not Stroke Lab. That's nice. But again, I like the feel of my Spider off the face. That feels good. I just struggle with it in the sense of I lose confidence quite a lot with it, because it's not set up for me, as it were.
Yeah, I did that with Scotty Cameron when I had Scotty Cameron. I just didn't feel confident with it at all.
I've never been a fan of Scotty Cameron. I always think they're overpriced, and it's just everyone wants it because they can say they've got a Scotty.
Yeah, when I used to fish, we call them tattle carts.
What?
Anybody go out and buy dearest poles and things like that. When the one I need to, they're not going to be in a professional game. They're just people that go match fishing at weekend.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think paying top dollar is always necessarily the best option, to be fair. Let's be honest. You do get what you pay for, but you can buy the best gear, buy secondhand at such a saving as well.
Yeah.
Such a saving. So someone's put in the comments, where's it gone? Colston, he'd buy expensive Adidas trainers, but he wouldn't buy cheap Gola trainers. I suppose that comes down to, would you buy cheap putter?
I think we're all, again, it comes back to that idea of brand. What do you deem out in the big bad world is something you're comfortable in wearing and not feel like you might get judged for?
Yeah, absolutely. It's image and perception, isn't it? And it's the same with the golf bag. It's like I've had conversations with Lee about the Lynx irons, and the Lynx irons feel amazing. Would I put them in my bag? Probably not, because I'm a brand snob. I've made no bones about it. I'm a brand snob, So yeah, it's a funny one on that respect. But I think there's a massive stigma around paying huge money for putters.
The club that you'll use most in your round of golf,
and arguably it's going to save you the most shots as well.
Yeah.
So would you say that a putter fitting is more important than a driver fitting?
I think realistically, if you're buying brand, even if you're not buying brand new, I think if you're spending money, a decent chunk of money, whatever club it is, get fitted. I think, and it doesn't really matter what level either. Get fitted. Like I was lucky. I won a full bag fitting with Titleist last year before, so I got fitted for a full bag. So I was lucky in that respect. So it didn't cost me anything. But I've been for a second putter fitting a little while ago, and I think just before the first lockdown, or just after the first lockdown, afternoon Kent. And I was lucky enough to have a putter fitting, so I know what spec I want, so I could buy it off the shelf, get the right length, and just change the loft. change the lie, and and off I go. But it's the same with the irons. Once you've had a fitting, provided you've not changed too much, you can pretty much pick things up off the shelf. Well, not so much off the shelf, but you can buy them used because you know what you need. You know, so like, for example, Kent could buy a set of clubs off eBay. I'm sure you could as well, Tom, because you know what your specs are.
I've only ever had one fitting in my life, and that was my last driver.
Really?
Yeah, everything else I've always usually, like my irons, I've always been standard lies, standard lofts. I don't mess around with that too much because my swing has chopped and changed so many times that I went. In fact, that's a lie. I went for a driver fitting once before that, and he was trying to chop and change everything. And I turned around at him and says, "I'm not hitting the ball today how I normally would, so I don't want to muck around with it and then take it up 2 degree upright to a golf course and then just can't hit the same shots." So I would do fittings moving now that I feel like I've got a swing that I'm repeating consistently. But back then I just wasn't.
Yeah, no, I get you. I mean, I was pretty consistent when I had my Titleist fitting, but still I think I was fitted wrong. I kind of, and I'll tell you for why. So I was fitted for X-Flex in everything. So driver was X-Flex, irons were X-Flex. And when I actually bit the bullet to buy the clubs, I got X-Flex in the driver. I got the 6.5 in the driver. I didn't change the 3 wood, but when I got the irons, rather than getting 130X, I got 130 stiff. Because when you're in that fitting bay, you're giving it you're literally just hitting it as hard as you can. You're hitting it, and you think, I can't do that on the golf course. That's not how I play golf. So you kind of sort of reset. So like this set I've just bought now, I've bought they've got X100 shafts in, and if I give it everything, they're absolutely fine, and I hit it well. Like I played Monday, I was 1 over. You know, I'll take that every day of the week. But there was a couple of holes. My normal shot, if I've got a distance in, I'd rather club like an in-between distance rather than hitting something hard. I'd rather club up. I can't do that with the X's. I've got to find the number and I've got to hit it. So might be reshafting then. Maybe. Say again, Kev.
Soft step them.
Yeah. I can't hear what you're saying, mate.
I said, just soft step them so that you're not hitting you're hitting a lesser shaft in the head. You just
so it's softer in the tip. Yeah, that would make sense rather than reshaft them. To be fair, they're
doing one then. Well, you're swapping them all, but you're only buying one shaft.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, so it's early days yet. I've only been on the course with them once, but that's where I'm at the minute. Sort of, I've got to give it the beans rather than going half-hearted on it.
I think that's ping, Graham, because I know ping's quite close to me, Gainsborough. I can be there in 40 minutes, and they'll just change them.
Yeah, that's it. That's the nice thing with ping. I think it's like 25 quid to just reel off the line. I don't think it's massively expensive. Once they fit you in the fitting process, it ping's really good. So you'll go there, you'll play 9 holes in the morning on the course. They'll take you for the fitting. I think they take you around the factory and stuff. Then they'll fit you, and then you go out and play under the 9 holes. It's a good experience, to be fair, at Gainsborough. It's really good. What we got in the comments? Paul Farnsworth. Ultimately, you should play with whatever works for you and whatever you like. If you have the cash available to spend big, then spend big. Golf is a hobby, and you should spend whatever you want to on it. Absolutely valid point. It's like a lot of people say golf's expensive, don't they? Or golf's too expensive. Golf's as expensive as you want to make it, isn't it? I think same as any sport. I think if you want to spend massive dough on it and make it ridiculously expensive, like your PXGs or your Titleist concepts. Yeah, you can make it big expensive. Yeah, they're expensive. I think they're like 300 or 400 quid an iron, the Titleist concept. Absolutely crazy dough. So you can make it massively expensive. Or alternatively, stick to a budget. You can go and buy a Slazenger box set for 100 quid. that's pretty much attainable to everyone. So I think it comes down to a fact of golf's as expensive. It's the same thing. Golf's as expensive as you want to make it. If you want to make it expensive, make it expensive. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, there is a perception that the game is incredibly expensive. I would say course and club memberships, yeah. But in terms of equipment, you've got the power to make that bit more budget-wise, like you're saying.
Absolutely. But again, talking memberships, obviously me and you were in a group chat together, Tom. You pay how much for your membership?
You really want me to get into that conversation?
Yeah, let's get into that conversation.
The thing is, obviously, I'm in Scotland. I'm a member at St Andrews, so mine's is split two ways. So I pay my club fees, which is the St Andrews Golf Club, and for my club and locker, I think I'm £190 for the year. And then obviously I have to pay a links ticket because it's the Links Trust that run the golf courses, the 7 golf courses at St Andrews. Last year's fees was £720 for the ticket for all 7 courses, and that was everything. So all in all, I was 900 quid.
900 quid, and that's to play.
That was everything. But there's different tiers. So obviously, I'm going back into St Andrews next year.
Mm-hmm.
You're then paying the town prices, which I think it will bring it down by about 600 quid. So I'll be paying about £350 for my golf all year. So I'm very lucky. So you can't really use me as a base on that one.
You can, because of where you play. So you play St Andrews. Right, let's not mess. You play the old course. You play there today. Today,
yeah.
I play a Parkland course in the middle of Coventry, which is 970 quid a year.
But again, that goes based on how many members your club can attract, and they've got to make their money to be able to, 1, run the course, 2, maintenance of the club, everything else, stock the bar, get decent TV in to keep the members.
Okay. Let's talk the Forest of Arden then.
Okay.
It's championship course. It's held major. It hasn't made. It's made held tour events.
Yeah.
It's nearly £2,000.
Not 1,800.
Not exactly, and it's what it's as daft as you say. It's just an open qualifying course. I know it's an amazing open, but when you compare it to the fact that St Andrews.
If you were at the university,
I've just seen Paul Jackson. Sorry, mate.
It's like 200 quid, isn't
it? What's that? Sorry, Ken?
Student discount.
It's like 200 quid or something, and you can play all the trust.
Yeah.
It's obscene.
I wonder if I can get that discount then.
What for?
It's a long way to travel.
The only way to get access to a links ticket now is to buy a house in St Andrews.
Is that it?
There is a waiting
in St Andrews?
My parents stay in St Andrews.
Right.
I'm moving back home next year to save money for a house because me and my wife are renting just now. So
yeah,
we stay in the closest city outside of it. So obviously, again, there's different tiers. You've got town resident, you've got Northeast Fife, then you've got ordinary tickets, and then you've got overseas tickets. So I'm in the ordinary category just now.
Whereas next year you'll be.
Next year I'll be in the residence because I'm moving back into the town.
Back home. Yeah.
Because obviously from the group chat, my father's moving out to Saudi for work, so we're moving into the house and paying the utility bills and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's
one of the perks.
But absolutely, mate.
The golf club I'm a member of, because obviously there's effectively four male golf clubs and 2 female golf clubs in the town.
Mm-hmm.
My golf club's got over 2,000 members, and at least 600 to 700 of that are overseas members, so United States, Japan, all of that. Their links ticket fees are probably upwards of about $2,000 as well once they've got it. But again, to go back to get access to it, the waiting list at the moment now for a ticket without the old course, I think is about, last time I checked, 5-6 year waiting list for a links ticket with the old course attached. You're talking 10 plus years.
Yeah, it's insane, isn't it? It's like yeah, I suppose when you put it like that, it's
you've got to buy a house in the town to get access to it, and it's a small postcode.
Yeah.
You've got to be in to get it. So yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky to get on the golf courses, and I've probably played the Old this year more than ever because there are no tourists about. It can be a nightmare when it's full season.
Yeah. Do you think you'll struggle like a normal year? How much do you think you'd get on it?
Well, again, because we get certain competitions within the club that are designated on the Old course, we get a couple, I think 2 or 3 rounds a year where we get the course for the day, as do other clubs. We're probably talking about between 5 and 8 rounds a year.
Still not bad though, is it?
Don't get me wrong.
Still decent.
Yeah. When it's normally 190 quid for a round there, I make my money's worth, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Because obviously they still run a ballot, don't they, for the first tee?
You've still got a ballot for every tee time on the Old course. So yeah, that's done 2 days before. So you pick
do you have to do that as well?
Yeah. That's for locals, ticket holders, and visitors.
Oh right, okay.
So it is a luck of the draws. We don't get any preference. The only ones who do get a sort of preference, or not preference as such, but the locals or residents, they get the local ballot. So there's a window, I think the first hour and maybe the last hour, where it's local ballots. Obviously, if they're not used, it's open to everyone. But
right, I'm with you.
They're in those ones first.
Right, I see. It's a different world, isn't it? Different world.
I've just got to thank my father. He was in the RAF and we were posted at Lucas, and he moved in at the town, so it was like happy day.
Yeah, that's it, mate. It's right place, right time, innit? Let's be honest.
Exactly.
Right place, right time. So moving on a little bit, I want to talk about something a little bit different. And I'm the only. Well, we've got a couple of YouTubers in the chat, but sort of YouTube golf. What makes you watch whoever you watch, and why? That's what I want to know, because obviously I do a bit of YouTube. Obviously Lee does a bit. Obviously we've got Paul in the chat. He does a fair bit. But why do you watch the people you watch? The golf channel specifically. Anybody?
Biggest one for me is entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch, without dropping big names, I used to watch Rick Shields a lot. As I've continued to watch YouTube, I've gone away from him. I've gotten a bit bored of it. I tend to watch, at the moment, the lads out in the States, the good guys. They seem to be the ones I'm watching the most of, because they have a different way of playing golf. It looks more fun, entertaining. And they've also got Kyle Berkshire, whatever his name is, the boy who just bombs at 400 yards. That's just entertaining to watch.
He's the guy with the long hair, ain't he?
Yeah.
He's been he's been doing a bit with Bryson DeChambeau the last couple
I watched that, the workout with him in GM. Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah. So I mean, Ken, Jeff, why do you watch the people you watch?
I think for me, it's, again, like Tom said, entertainment. It's a bit of a story as well with some of you, like we Lee and his dad.
Yeah.
And it's that being able to get access to you as well. You know what I mean? Like with Rick Shields, I know I'm never going to get access to Rick Shields or Pete Finch and people like that. Like I got talking to you and Lee, and then next I know we're playing golf. Yeah. But it's that access to you, you know, which is, I think people want to see, and that community. We have got a community going now.
The smaller guys, we tend to have a nice little community going.
Yeah, that works quite well. So that's me, I think. But sometimes it's just entertainment. It's like whether it's funny or whether there's something serious in it. You know, that's why I watch it.
Ken?
Golf vlog, I've just watched my mates.
Yeah.
Anyway. And rest of my stuff is either shooting or watches.
Fair enough. Paul Nichols says he watches Top Bloke for the drama. I don't know about that one. I mean, do we think he's serious with some of the stuff that he puts out there?
No, I don't think it's just an actor, isn't it? I mean, I look at YouTube as though it's not real.
Yeah. I mean, some of
Some minutes not. I mean, you've seen that when you watch James Robinson.
How do you mean?
That's not real.
Right.
That's just.
How's it not real?
In some ways, when he's placing stuff and he's doing it purposely, and you can see that he's doing it, that's not real. That's not real golf. What Corrin does is real golf, and what you and Lee do is real golf. You don't you're moving balls around just to put some. That's not, for me. That's not real, and that's why I stopped watching him.
Right, I'm with you. Yeah, I sort of see what you're saying in that respect. But I mean, yeah, I suppose. So yeah, it's just entertainment value. Who gives you the best entertainment value out of the big guys?
I'd have to go back to saying the good guys. I've enjoyed watching them over the last 2 months. They've been really churning out some top quality stuff from going to Mexico and playing golf. I still like watching Peter Finch as well.
Yeah,
they're probably the two that when it pops up, I make an effort to watch their stuff.
I like watching Pete.
Well,
Yeah. I don't know why you watch us. We're crap.
It's more relatable.
Yeah,
your stuff, because if you hit like when you and Lee do your 3 holes trying to better yourselves, that's good for the amateur to watch, because that's stuff that we should be doing as well. If you're having a bad round, you can then say, right, well, sod the score. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to work on these next 3 holes, trying to shoot what I best can. So you retrain your mind to be a bit more mental. So I've enjoyed watching you do this.
Yeah, need to get out and do some more. To be fair,
need the weather as well.
Yeah, to be fair,
it's a great idea that as well.
Oh, he's back on, is he? Yeah, I did steal that idea from Lee. To be fair, that was Lee's baby, and I stole it. But I did give him credit in the first video. To be fair,
I mean, I still watch some of Liam's as well. I don't watch all Liam's. It depends what it is. Some of the stuff when he's been abroad has not been great, and like I said, that's knocked out with wireless mics. But some of it's still good, entertaining.
I think if you look at how many golf YouTubers there are, and let's be fair, at some point we've all watched them all. At some point, but if you were to watch them all of the time, you'd never be off YouTube. You just physically can't watch them all the time. So I think it comes to a case of I think when you're scrolling through your feed, I think if someone has got a snappy thumbnail or a snappy title, you're going to watch it because you think that might be all right. So no, I don't watch them all the time, but there's certain ones that I will make the effort to watch, obviously.
I'll tell you one that will start jumping up fairly soon. Stuart Carter-Smith.
Yes. Yeah, he's going down a more professional corporate route. So yeah, I think he'll start to grow and start being pushed a bit by Google Ads a bit more. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
A good shout from Colston in the chat, by the way.
It is. It will happen. It's been spoke about. All parties have agreed. Just depends on when my dad's feeling fit for it, to be fair. But yeah, it will happen. Possibly the 27th. Maybe. That won't be decided until the day. But yeah, no, that's going to happen. That will 100% happen when all 4 of us are together, Colston. So yeah, that's on the cards, mate. It's been spoke about. We were going to do it last year, but it pissed it down. So we didn't end up playing. Well, we played like 3 or 4 holes, and my dad didn't come because it was raining. So yeah, Colston, great shout, and it is 100% going to happen. What else is in here? Quiet tonight. Can you talk about the fit face earlier on when I was talking about the Betty?
Yeah, do you have that on that, or is it the honeycomb?
No, on the BB40 that I tried, it's just pure milled, so it hasn't got the fit. Your audio's gone.
Sorry.
There we go.
Is it the honeycomb milling, or is it the?
Yeah, no, the BB40 is the honeycomb, and your audio's gone again, mate.
Give me a couple of minutes.
No worries.
Carry on without me.
So yeah, obviously Kent's got a Bettinardi Mizuno with the fit face, which is like an insert. I think that's what he's talking about with it making it softer. But obviously when I used the BB40, it was really soft, or real soft. So I don't know if that's down to the milling of the face or the material used. So I don't rightly know, if I'm honest.
So you had a fitting for both of them, have you?
I went to the Belfry a little while ago and had a fitting. So I know I'm face balanced. I know I'm 1 degree upright. Off I go. So the head weights are the same. I think like 335. I think so. Head weight's fine. Length length I can go between 33 and 34 because of where I hold it. So yeah, it's literally a case of picking one now, mate. I don't know. Still can't hear you, Kent.
Oh, bollocks.
I can now. I did then. I heard that. Yeah. Obviously we've been having this debate in another chat. And Kent, you're dead against Scotty Cameron, and you're not a Scotty fan.
I like the putters. I don't like all that shit around him.
What, him being the...
Don's been an arsehole all his life and conned a lot of the public. My view.
In what respect? In the sense of his processes, or
saying that they're his putters and they're not.
Right. Okay. So they're pretty much mass produced now, ain't they?
Yeah, and before Robert did them for him.
Right.
And then after that, there were another company did them for him. I don't even think he's got a 5-axis milling machine in there yet.
What about the 009s and the rats and stuff like
that? I think his garage stuff is they're done by people that work for him, rather than an outside agency.
So basically, the Circle T, the tour only, come out of the garage.
Yeah, the 009s, the rat, the garage.
Yeah,
I think they're all made at the facility that he has now.
Mm-hmm.
But whether he could program a millet, or he certainly couldn't use a Bridgeport. Not a chance.
So basically, what he's saying is not what he's saying on the tin.
Yeah, I think the guys that do their own, Byron, TP Mills, or David as it is now, Robert, of course, Jeff, Gullo Putters, Peretti, George.
Nice putters.
Yeah, they are nice. Have you rolled one?
No, I've only seen it.
They are really nice.
Let's not throw one into the mix.
You can get them from Denmark, mate.
I'm sure you can.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, you don't have to pay those import charges.
Yeah, that's it. Well, if I get it ordered quick enough, we'll be all right. So, obviously, we've got Leon with us now. Hello, Mr. Nuts.
Hiya.
So, obviously, I don't think you were with us for the first part of the video, and we were talking reference cost of putters and are they worth it? Are they justifiable? What are your views on the matter?
Well, we would all happily go out there and spend £450 to £500 on a driver that we're probably going to use 15 times.
Yeah.
So what stops us from spending that much money on a putter that you're going to use 30 times?
Yeah.
Hopefully not that many.
Well, hopefully not that many, but, you know...
Averagely.
Yeah.
That is my average, Tom.
Hey, talking for myself as well, pal.
Mate, you
4 3 putts a day.
Your average.
So I think, don't get me wrong, though. I think the prices of golf equipment is a bit steep at the best of times. So when it comes to putters, yes, it's steep. But I think you've got to weigh up what the pros are for you and what the cons are. So the cons are going to be the price point of it is a massive con.
Mm-hmm.
But the pro, is it going to reduce your putter? Are you going to get a better feel? Is it going to be weighted properly? Is it going to do you justice by spending that much money on a putter.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent 300 odd quid on a putter.
You did. You did.
Was it the best thing? I think it's still the guy, the squidgy bit in the middle that holds it and puts a stroke on it that makes the biggest difference.
Yeah, I mean, you changing your putters cost you a lot more than a putter, though, hasn't it?
It did have, yeah, because obviously I bought an Odyssey, which then I had an OCD issue where everything had to match Callaway, so then it went everything from Titleist to Callaway, but we're changing that now. It's all on the change, but we'll keep that under wraps.
That's right, yeah.
I compare it to what I used to do with match fishing. I'd spend £8,000 on a pole.
Mm-hmm.
£8,000. That's a cheap pole. You know, I mean, you can get a pole for £2,000 that'll do exactly the same job, and then when you work it all out over a season, I probably spend double what I spend at golf.
Question that on that though, Jeff. Did it make you catch better fish?
I used to fish. Well, no, because it's down to person, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just been the devil's advocate, should we say?
I were a tackle tart for a bit, like I said before. You know, I'd just go out and buy TriCast or go out and buy Maver, Garbolino, whatever it were. But you can go out and spend £2,000 on a pole, and it'll do exactly the same job as an £8,000 pole.
So let's flip it and talk golf then. If you spend, I don't know, what's a Cleveland, 80 quid for a putter, and then 370 quid on a Scotty, are they going to do the same job? In your hands, or my hands, or Tom's, or Lee's, or whoever's hands, are they going to do the same job?
If you're not striking out the centre of the face, it doesn't matter what you've got.
No.
Exactly.
What centre at face?
Don't know. I'll tell you when I hit it one day.
I'm still waiting for that.
Yeah.
My putter's perfect in the middle. It's the toe and the heel that's got a wear mark on it.
Same.
It's like what we were saying earlier, though, GMAC. If you put a Ferrari up against a Vauxhall and put Lewis Hamilton in both, he's going to perform better in both cars than I would.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So
I'd have a go at catching him, though.
You'd catch him on straights, Tom.
Depends what you were driving. If you were in the Vauxhall, you wouldn't.
I'm good, thanks.
If he put his lap time against mine in both cars, he's going to beat me hands down, just because he's a better driver than I am.
Exactly.
Vice versa with a putter. If you put, say, Jordan Spieth back in when he was winning majors with a, like you're saying, a Cleveland putter and a Scotty putter, he's still going to hold the putts more than what I would.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But would he hold more point putts with the Cleveland or the Scotty?
You get
That's
line, and you get pace.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I think if you give him enough time to get used to the putters, he'll hold the same amount of putts with either.
Yeah.
It's all about how for me, it's how he judges the greens and reads the greens.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, putting as a whole is way more than putting the ball. You've got to be able to read the greens. If you can't read the greens, you're never going to be a great putter.
I always find DJ hilarious in the sense that he must have something in his tailor-made contract that he has to put the new putter in his bag, whatever it comes out as. Because inevitably, when he wins the most, he always goes back to the black Spider.
Yes.
Okay. The thing is with DJ is if he's putting well, he'll use a blade. If he's putting poorly, he'll use the Spider. But he puts better with the Spider. It's all.
He also puts better when his brother reads his putts.
Ooh, yeah. Controversy.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's. I don't obviously. He's a 14 club. He's a 14 club sponsor, and he's always going to have the new gear. But like you say, but his philosophy is if he's putting poorly, he'll go back to the Spider. Yeah. And like you say, when he wins stuff, he's got the Spider in his hand, which is really strange. I don't know why he just doesn't leave it.
It was the same with Poulter, wasn't it? He used to have I can't remember what model it is, but
Odyssey
from the Ryder Cup. And he went away from it,
Poulter.
Had a crisis on the greens, jumped straight back to it, and all of a sudden, everything's dropping.
Yeah, Odyssey number 7. I don't know what model year it was, like White Hot Pro or whatever, but yeah, that was that's the one. Same shape as Lee's. But But yeah, like you say, it's a magic wand for him. And I think they all have. I mean, look at Tiger. Tiger Scotty has got a wear mark in the middle. Like, I think I've seen him maybe 2 or 3 competitions use a putter that's not that. And I think he used a couple of TaylorMades when he first moved over.
Yeah, didn't work.
No, so he went straight back to the Scotty. You know. So it is one for you then, Ken.
Go on.
A little bit of context. It's the Scotty Betty argument, or the Scotty and the other. So if you look at the tour,
anybody.
Yeah. If you hit anyone that's not Scotty, so if you look at the tour, if you look at the tour pros, and you look at your top tour pros like your Tiger Woods and so on, they're all using Scotties rather than Bettinardi. Pretty. Obviously, I know Cooch is using a Betty, but so's Fitzpatrick now. Fitzpatrick, they've literally made a one-off for him of his C groove. They've literally milled him one of them. But there's not many using boutique putters, shall we say?
No, because it's the person doing it is Robert Bettinardi. It's his company, his putters, and he pays nobody.
Right, okay.
Acushnet pay everybody.
So you think? Okay,
I think there's a lot of that.
So do you think? Let's look at Tiger specifically and Spieth. So Tiger's had his Scotty how long? Jesus, a long time, years.
Well, he had that TI3, didn't he, before that? Which was the one that,
he had the Newport 2 long net Trillium TI3. Yep. Then he moved into what he's got now, the 009.
Yep.
So they're not still paying him to use that putter. No way.
But he's got backups of that putter as well, hasn't he? I think he's got 3 or 4 of them that they made for him.
They made. I think
they made it.
Yeah, whoever made it.
And Charlie's using one of them now. He's had to cut it down for Charlie.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, I'm not sure.
One of the backups.
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but is that one of the 009 backups, or is that just another backup putter? Because I've heard him say Charlie's using one of my backups. I don't know if he's
one of the stainless.
Is it?
Yeah.
But then, do you think that Ricky's still paying? They're still paying Ricky because he's using a 009 as well.
I don't know. Jordan's been using it since he was 13. Who'd buy a 13-year-old kid a 009? Who'd do it? I mean, way back then they were probably $2,500.
Yeah. And he's different out there, though, isn't it?
Exactly. But well, he's obviously been spoiled by. See, the thing is as well, because he's gone. The college has probably bought him that. Let's be fair. At that age, he's at a level where the colleges are looking at him, and they'll have gone, "What do you want?" And he'll say, "I want that," because that's what they do over there, ain't it? The college will pay them silly money and give them whatever they want just to get them at that college. So it's potentially from that.
Well, as you're going on about colleges, full rides.
What full rides?
They're about anymore. A full ride college sponsorship now.
As in full scholarship, pay for nothing.
Yeah.
No, of course not.
You're there to play effectively. Like when Phil was at ASU, that was a full ride. He got everything. I think probably Paul got his as well. I mean, ASU have got shitloads of money and they throw it at people, but not so much now, I don't think. Whether Rambo got, well, he might have been different because he was world #1 junior for forever, and then he got his into ASU, and obviously they paid him over and accommodation and everything for him. So
that's it. I think when you're talking full rides, I don't think they are getting it for golf. I think for your
certainly the women don't get it.
For your footballers, I think they'll still get it, and the footballers will still get it, and maybe the basketballers. Golfers probably not so much. Just because of the pull of the other sports. If you look at most colleges, they're not golf colleges. They'll either be a basketball college or a football college.
Correct.
So I think they'll still get the full ride, but the golfers not so much.
Unless you go in Barmer and they're everything, aren't they? Basketball, football, golf.
Yeah.
And to some extent as well, Texas A&M, Longhorns, they pretty much cover everything.
Yeah, I think
They're all
mostly
top 10 or Pac-10 or
yeah, that's it, isn't
or
it?
Big 12.
Do you think some of the pros setting up their own foundations has had an effect on that? Because they try and get them maybe younger before college side, and they can maybe set them up from that and then into college, so the colleges don't have to throw so much money at them.
I've never thought of that, but that's a good point.
Potentially. I mean, Tiger's had his foundation for a long time.
Because you look at how many out of Britain have gone from Nick Faldo's.
So you've got Faldo's, and obviously even over here now, you've got the Robert Rock Foundation. He started one over here.
Paul Laurie's not long started his as well.
Yeah. So I think you might be right. Start them young.
Yeah.
So it's you're probably right.
But that in its sense can hurt club golfers, because a lot of club golfers, I know, obviously, again, to go from experience, my club in St Andrews, we had a lot of good young golfers, and they were nabbed very early by a Scottish Golf Union.
Yeah.
And you don't tend to see them come back, because that's their path to making it on the tour.
Yeah, I think England's probably the same, because it's a bigger country. As daft as that sounds, you don't know.
Huge.
Yeah, you don't know. I don't think you notice it so much. I don't think you notice it so much down here.
Yeah, well, ours go. Well, from what Danny did, she went Yorkshire. She represented the club. Then it was Yorkshire, and then the next step would have been England coaching. But she's decided that she was going to carry on with the Taekwondo and
I mean, that's the same as Sully. To be fair, he was club county country.
Excuse me, I missed that. Sorry, Graham.
So I was just saying that's the same as Sully. He was club county country.
Yeah.
But he still goes back and plays his local course. So like he was still playing. He was still playing at Nuneaton until a couple of years ago. Obviously, he's moved to Stratford now, but he still plays at Stratford, his local course, with his mates.
Well, I suppose that's a bit like Danny Willett as well. He still holds a handicap at his club.
Yeah, exactly.
Him and Sam. Crazy.
It is mad. It is mad.
I think he's off 6.5 something there.
6 point plus 6.5.
Plus 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah, but listen.
Best master winner ever.
How mad is this? Tiger, is it Lake Nona or Islesworth where he's a member? He's plus 9.
Yeah, it's scandalous. A lot of them are pros at Lake Nona, aren't they?
Yeah.
Quite a few of them. I think Polt was there as well.
They're Kingswood, Lake Nona, Queens something or other.
Well, they used to do that competition, didn't they, between Lake
That's right, Tavistock
Cup. Can't remember what.
Tavistock Cup, yeah.
Tavistock Cup.
Yeah, so.
That was a good watch.
Yeah, it was. Right then, boys and girls. Go on.
Plus 9 round anywhere. Every other hole you've got to birdie.
Yeah. But it makes you think, that's some crazy ability, because he's obviously able to do it.
Yeah. All the time.
All the time, exactly. All the time. He's playing off a handicap, yeah. Yeah. Right then, boys and girls. I'm going to wrap it up there, simply because it's 25 to 8 and Liverpool are about to kick off soon.
Good man. Thank you very much.
Watch that.
got to get the football in, boys. So thanks for joining in, and I will see you next week.
Top man.
Thanks so much, guys. See you later.
See you later.